Computer.
What is this telling me? Got it. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light, and thank you for dealing with us hitting record. I am here with Debbie from Cosmic Soul Podcast. I adore Debbie, and I think I met you through Instagram. I think that's how I found you. Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out Cosmic Soul Podcast, please do so. What I like about it, everyone, is that even if the message is not like, the best positive one, like she did one on having to do that inner work, it still comes out so positive. And so, Debbie, you post that on Sundays, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I do is that Monday morning when I wake up, I listen to you.
Oh, nice.
Your voice is just so nice to wake up to. And then it's like this nice, like, yes, I'm going to do my Monday. Yeah, I love it. So that's Cosmic Soul Podcast, everyone. I'll put a link at the bottom, but we are interviewing Miss Debbie today, not just because of her podcast, but for all sorts of great stuff, because she's doing it. She is doing the work, and I love it. I love it. So, Miss Debbie, I'm going to, in every interview, I'm going to start, I think, posing the question, because these interviews are really to help people out there that are either they just woke up or they're beginning to wake up. They're in the process of like the first couple of years, somewhere in there. What does waking or becoming awakened, what does that mean to you?
First of all, I like what you say about it being more for people that are starting the process for the first time, because that's really what I want to be a part of as well. Helping people that are just now starting, because there's so much information out there. Yeah. And it's really easy to get into super advanced stuff and you just are way overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I think as far as awakening goes, I don't think it ever really stops, but I think first types of awakening can be something like you realize that everything, I think we're more connected to each other and the actual earth and the cosmos than we have ever been told, which we probably haven't been told.
Yeah.
It's funny because the movie The Matrix, obviously that's the example we all go to.
You're
but
right.
I feel like awakening is really a lot like when Neo gets put into he sees the real world and comes back, and nothing, not as dark as that, but I feel
not
like
as dark as that. Yeah.
It can be. It's all how you choose to perceive it, right?
Right.
But the way I see it is it's a very freeing feeling, because you realize, or at least I realize, that the expectations and of what you're supposed to be or what success is, it, just noticing your connection and how we all really work together without us even knowing it is so huge. I think that we have technology and they say we're more connected than ever, but I think it's more than that. It's more on a cellular and consciousness level is what I'm talking. We influence each other on an energetic level. And I think that for me, really awakening is realizing that we're all connected, energetically. And it's kind of like the further you get along, it's like a responsibility. You feel like you're kind of responsible to I wouldn't want to say you're responsible for the people around you. Everybody's responsible for themselves, but you have an opportunity to raise your consciousness and vibration so you affect others and the environment in a positive way.
Yeah, well, when you before you kind of answered, you said, it's good that we're focusing on those that are just now kind of waking up. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I was actually just thinking about that before I knew I was going to contact you today. that what I really do appreciate about your podcast is that simple is not a good word, or there's always a bad kind,
Sure.
but you do keep it simple and accessible and for everyone. And that's what I really appreciate, because kind of as you ascend or go up the ladder, you can start absorbing more things. But here's the thing with me is that the more we keep it simple, oftentimes the better we do.
Yeah.
And so when I listen to your messages, it's like, I just need to make a list, or I just need to do this. Like, let's be just simple here, because we tend to, man, us humans, we complicate. Jeez, I can't see. I even did the wrong word. We do that, and so that I wanted to point that out to people that are listening as well. That your messages, the simpler they are, the more profound they can be as well.
Sure.
And I love asking that question because everybody will answer differently.
That's a good question.
I think you are probably the first. I really do want to say that. And not just like with interviews here. I think you are the first. I was like, as you're talking, I'm like, I don't think anybody's answered this way. First, that said that awakening is like the acknowledgement of how we are all connected. Yeah, sweetheart, I don't think anybody said that before to me.
That's
It's
cool.
always been something more on an individual basis, or just the small community or their household, or becoming to know their own power, or I don't think anyone has said that. And so right on, Miss Debbie, right on. Yeah, that's awesome. Because we aren't we?
Yeah.
I think I do believe that is a part. If we are going to talk about ladder or anything, that's a major step of moving up that ladder, is acknowledging that we are all connected. And to the cosmos and to Mother Earth. I wish people really understood how connected we are to the Earth.
People don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't. I think they see it as a source of like, where we put our homes and where we, get our food and everything, but we're actually like connected to her consciousness, and what we do, she responds, and vice versa.
Right. And you were talking about having that responsibility, and I do think at some point that kind of hits you as well.
Yeah.
Feeling because for me, and I will say my first responsibility when it hit me was, oh my goodness, we're so connected to Gaia. I have to change what I do. That was like my first, and then it became this whole, okay, I have to raise my vibrations to not just help people, because if we help them, we're helping her.
Yeah.
And raising my vibration helps her as well anyways. And it was like this whole, if people get to know me on a personal basis, this is all for Gaia, for me. Like, this is all for her. However we're operating or however we serve, it's a lot for her.
Yeah, it's all for mom.
Yeah, it's all for the mama. Well, how you just recently, or I shouldn't say just, how long have you been practicing Reiki?
Oh, no, not too long. Only about 6 months.
Okay. Yeah. And do you use that to get your vibes up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Every day.
On that, you know what? You're in your first 6 months. Okay. Can we talk about this for a minute? Because I think a lot of people are going to start navigating that way. They're going to start headed that way.
Definitely.
And and for me, I started in 2016 or something like that. So I take things for granted, and I shouldn't. You know, when I was in my 6 months of Reiki, I was doing it every day, like you just said. And now I'm like, okay, when I get the 20 minutes, you know, I take it for granted. What is it like? What's it like to go through a program and experience it?
Like a Reiki program?
Yeah, like a Reiki program, or just to experience like when you learn it for the first time.
Oh, it's so magical. You know, it's so awesome because it's like it's tangible. It's something you can actually feel. You know, I remember when I got attuned the first what, like I guess a month, when it's really running through you, the attunement, and I felt all the little spiders in my hair. I was like, this is incredible. And then, you know, you just like, you call it and like you feel all this stuff, and you can, it's like, it's such a it really can, it's a way to connect with spirit in a more physical way than other ways, because, you know, everybody's got different ways to experience what you would call, I guess, spirit or spirituality, things like that. Like everybody has different gifts, and like the, what are they called, the clairs, you want, if
like
you will,
clairvoyance
like
and stuff.
some are clairvoyant, clairaudient. I'm clairaudient, you know. And I'll get a little pissed. I'm not more like visual, you know. But so yeah, it's just one of those ways to really be able to feel it, because I believe that, you know, we come here because this is like a physical reality where you can really experience the physical reality of things. And most of the time, what I was used to for the past 10, 12 years with spirituality was more of a meditative, you know, you experience things in meditation, things like that. But Reiki really made it to where I could actually feel something, and I can speak to this intelligent consciousness, if you want to call it like that.
That's
the directed places, and it's just the coolest feeling. And it's skyrocketed me. Let's just say that. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do it for healing, or do you do it for like all of it, for the connection, also the healing? Have you seen like results or anything?
Yeah, I have. I would say that I'm not. I don't want to say that I've done a bunch of work, and so, you know, I'm just trying to.
You're perfect. Yeah, you don't want to say you're perfect.
I'm not, you know, but I will say that if I use it more for like emotional stuff and connecting more with, as far as physical healing, it's helped me a lot. I've had some knee issues, and it's helped with my knees.
But bless you for saying emotional.
Yeah, I feel like that's most important for me.
Yeah, and well, because I think a lot of people, when they hear of Reiki, they're thinking physical, like that, because the word healing is attached to it.
Right.
So I think you know, any layman out there, just, you know, just average Joe, would be like, oh, it's healing. Okay, my elbow or something. We don't register that. No, Reiki takes care of emotional.
Right.
It's opening yourself up to the universe, and it knows best of what we need. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah. I think it would be, to explain it better to maybe people, would say, instead of just saying healing, saying holistic would really help out, since it really does hit those like mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. And did I read somewhere that you're starting to work with angels? You're starting to communicate?
I work with them all the time. I bring them in all the time. I do angelic healing, but I haven't done it on an actual other person besides myself. But I did a healing on myself a while back. I put it on Instagram because I had a dog for 16 years. He was my best friend, and he just got old, and I had to put him down, and I was in a weird place in my life, and my mom basically took care of that whole situation. And I went to the vet where he was, and I have a lot of regret with how I handled the situation. Or I had a lot of regret. for 10 years, like every day I would think about Toby and how bad I felt for the way that everything happened. And there was just like no way for me to look at his picture and not feel sadness, you know?
Okay.
And then I did a healing on myself with no expectation. I was just like,
Good. Yes.
healing, and I was laying down, and it, you know, mind's eye, Toby jumped up on the bed with me and just like started cuddling with me. And ever since then, like when I think about him, I don't feel that regret and sadness. I'm just like, I'm fine.
Awesome.
It was the wildest thing. I was just like,
Awesome.
this is amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's a deep thing, you know, that was a deep pain. So
Yeah. Yeah. You did post that on Instagram. That's where I saw it. If you guys don't know, Cosmic Soul Podcast, isn't that what it is on Instagram?
Yeah.
Debbie will do little videos and supportive messages and this and that. And I saw that there. Once again, yeah, I love your little videos. You're always in the car. So you must
I am on my break at work. That's when I do my.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm like. She's on her break,
Yep.
which is beautiful and wonderful that you're spending your break that way. You know.
Oh yeah, and then we've got people walking around the parking lot that see me like doing this stuff. You know, I can't care. I really can't. I'm like, taking care of me.
Well, there you go with you have now said, I think the word expectations like 2 or 3 times. So I do want to go there for a minute, because when you were talking about awakening, you said letting go of other people's expectations. Just now, when you said when you got that wonderful healing, you had no expectations. So what's your opinion about that? Like
expectations?
Yeah, just because now you've said it twice, so we're gonna go there.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They don't help us at all. I think the whole point is to just do your best and enjoy what you're doing. And whether it be, especially, you know, it could be like if you're trying to create something, or just live your life, just enjoy it, live it the best you can, and don't have expectations for any outcomes, because I don't want to get all Buddhist here, but that's where the suffering comes from, is when we have expectations for things and they don't go the way that we plan them or hope they would be. If we all just kind of went with the flow and enjoyed the process, it would be, it's fine. It's great.
I personally will say, for me, getting over that hurdle, because for me that was not a step, that was I don't know what that was, but getting over that, because I didn't just have expectations on myself, I had also expectations of everyone around and the whole world. And the whole world, and every living thing I had an expectation for. And of course, and I'm a Leo, so of course I'm right also. So that was and for some reason, if you're plagued with that, as I was, it's like I'll have an expectation for others, but then I'm even harder on myself. And so I was just never worthy enough. I was never good enough. So that hurdle, that also the very last, I'd say, step through that whole hurdle was getting over being a perfectionist, or getting over being perfect. And that was a dark time of the shadow work. That was some dark. I got it. My moon is in Scorpio. I'm actually a Leo double Scorpio, and
oh damn,
man, that Scorpio came in so rough that it was like, and it was all about, you're not really going to let go of the expectations, Courtney, the full picture of it, until you get over this perfectionist thing. And so anybody listening, if you were just now becoming awakened, take your time. Take your time. It is, what do they say? It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Right.
Absolutely. What's interesting is you said expectations twice, but then when you were really talking about what an awakening is like, you really ended it with it's free. It frees you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel free.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when you're able to kind of start letting go of the expectation, is that where freedom really starts kicking in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Because that is, like you said, like that is, I think for me, that was a hurdle too. I mean, I don't think it's all completely gone.
Oh yeah.
It still happens every once
Process.
in a while. It's just it takes a while, but it just gets easier every day. Yeah, because I've grown up as an artist and a musician, and I don't really know where the perfectionism came from. I'm a Virgo. I don't know. I
Oh, well,
guess
there's your answer.
I have a ton of planets in Leo, so that could also be a
Yeah,
thing.
there's your
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I've always had really high expectations, and really been a huge perfectionist. And letting go of that's hard. That's really difficult, and I
Well, it's
think
also,
that's probably the hardest for most people.
I
You
think
know.
so too. So I'm glad we're actually talking about this
Mm,
because really, in one of your podcasts recently, you were talking about shadow work.
mm,
More so on kind of letting go of the victim mentality.
yeah.
But in that too, shadow work, we also have to embrace the things that are within us that might never change. Like
Exactly.
like I just said, I'm a Leo. There are aspects to Leos that are not that I'm not going to go away.
Yeah.
And sometimes I work with it, and sometimes it works with me. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's things about us that it takes acceptance. We got to accept the good and the bad, the dark and the light, because we are actually balanced perfectly with it, you know? And I believe that's what a whole lot of shadow work
Oh yeah.
is when something becomes out of whack, out of balance, ego, perfectionism, expectations, whatever it is, like it just, um, to rebalance that and then accept,
Yep.
there's parts of your Virgo side that I'm sure you're like, oh, I wish I could not have to clean the house every day.
Oh yeah. I can't get relaxed at all until I come home from work at like a 9-hour day, and I'm like, I'll clean.
Yep.
I have to.
You have to. I know. It's I love it that any Virgo that I'm ever around and we're hanging out, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be a lazy cat and just lay here. You clean because that's what you have to do. Like,
I have to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Um,
awesome.
but it's stuff like that. And I think
Mhm.
when you deliver your messages, you tap into discussions like we're having here, but you do it in such a great way because you're using a tarot card.
Yeah.
And I read tarot, but I don't, it's not like my go-to.
Right.
Um,
Me too.
and,
Absolutely.
and, but it's like how you explain the cards and mix it in with a message. And it's like maybe a little practical use, a little bit of maybe try this, a little bit of, some hope and some. I really like that. Because there's a lot of readers that just read from what a book says.
Right.
Right. And you are really kind of thinking, okay, I know what this card means. What does that mean to life?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Cosmic Soul Podcast if anybody wants to check that out.
And it really just doing that just helps me find something to talk about. It's perfect. Like if I need like, well, I mean, obviously the tarot card is like the huge part of the show. That's how we get what we're going to talk about. I find it's because I mean, after we go through the whole deck, I'm going to find another type of deck to kind of get
Yeah.
our focus from.
Do
So
you like prepare or do you pull a card blindly
I
and
pull
then
a
kind of go
card.
from there?
What I usually do is the day that I record, as soon as I'm done recording, it's either that day or the day after, I will shuffle the cards and the card will come up for the next episode. And every time I do this, the card that's picked, I don't realize that this is what's about to happen in my life.
Yeah. I was
So
just
I'm
gonna ask
also like
that. Yeah.
talking to myself. I'm like trying to pump myself up when I do the podcast and everything. It's that's what I mean. We're all connected. It's relevant
Yeah.
to everybody. And then it's wild. It's really wild how it's all worked out. The next card, the next episode is the death card. So I'm like,
Nice. We
I mean,
can do
I'm
this.
excited. That's a
Yeah,
great
we
card.
can do this. Yeah.
That's a great card. So I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen?
What's on the horizon? Yeah.
What
Yeah.
information am I looking at here for
Well,
myself?
that's what I was gonna say, is that your messages, I'm happy to hear that you're saying that you see it play out in your life. Because then because I say I listen Monday morning. You're my Monday morning coffee. Okay. And I now too, after listening for a while, was like, by Wednesday, I'm like, Debbie said this. Okay. So we know what to do here. But that means to me that you're close to the energy. You're close to all that is affecting all of us, because we are connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the next one is the death card.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
People will have to tune in. I know what it's all about. I don't know how it's going to play out in my life, but I'm accepting. I'm happy it's going to happen, whatever it is.
Me too.
So what is this new endeavor that are you starting a new business or what?
I'm starting a business. I've never done this before. Yeah, I'm starting a Reiki business. I was drawn to Reiki and I kept kind of pushing it away,
Okay.
and then it just kind of kept showing up. Not like an algorithm style, where I'm looking up Reiki all the time. It was nothing like that. It was, I know when things are
more natural, more organic than,
Sometimes I see people being like, I'm seeing all these ads for this, and I think it's a sign. I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. But hey, you know what? Who am I to say that? But yeah, I was drawn to Reiki, and it changed my life so much. And I really want to help people find balance, and I think that a lot of I don't want to be like those people that say we need God in school, but I think that a lot of the problems that we have nowadays, there's a complete disconnect from spirit. Like people can be religious and go to church, but it's different when you actually experience it every day, like on a normal basis. And nothing like with dogma. It's just like I said, being connected to, what do you even call this? Creation?
Creation.
I feel like I said, like Reiki can make people feel and experience things that they've never experienced before, and can maybe kind of trigger something inside of them, and maybe even they'll learn it themselves to make their lives a little bit more fulfilling and just not so involved with these things that are presented to us that are keeping most people in this really low vibrational state of fear. And people don't realize the things that they watch or listen to. They don't realize subconsciously how much damage that does. Like, it's pretty wild. Like your brain doesn't know the difference. I know this example has been told a million times, but your brain doesn't know the difference when you watch a horror movie, and then that your brain thinks that you're being, like you're in danger. But you don't think that. You're like, no, it's entertaining. Like, and then you're like, nightmares. Like,
nightmares. Yeah.
And I always have nightmares when I watch a scary movie.
And I'm not opposed to scary movies. My husband, though, has figured out over the years that if I, for some reason, am just like stuck on watching that kind of stuff, something's not okay with me.
Right.
Yeah. Like something, if I watch an entire series on vampires in a weekend, something's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, and I love him, don't get me wrong. It's that he knows, okay, she's getting dark in here. Like, why is she trying to suck up all the darkness right now?
Right.
Yeah. And and what I thank you for saying that, though, because we're here to talk about kind of like that awakening process.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I have clearly just demonstrated we're still human.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get through this concept of expectations. We still watch a lot of horror movies at times.
Yeah.
We still, what would be some advice for someone just stepping in? Because this is my personal opinion, and maybe you can kind of go off of this.
Yeah.
I feel, out of kind of observing for, I don't know, the past however many years, when someone first kind of wakes up, they then start researching all this stuff and watching all this stuff and trying to get out there and see. And for some reason, a lot of our leaders are put way up on a pedestal. Or like you might go to a yoga class, and because your body doesn't stretch yet, you get defeated. Or I teach meditation, and oftentimes people, if they're, for some reason, they think they have to do it exactly like how these, like the Buddhists, like I need to sit this way for 3 hours straight, and which is not accurate.
No.
But then they get defeated. Oh, I'm never going to get this stuff because I'm not like that person.
Mm-hmm.
I can't meditate like, or I can't stretch like that, or I can't. What's kind of some advice to anyone that might be feeling that
Well, I mean, we're all on our own journeys, and I think that one of the besides expectations, comparison is another issue
way?
for anybody, not just on a spiritual level, but I think that's a huge issue right now, especially with the advent of social media and
Yeah.
everybody putting their best self out there, and just comparing like, well, I'm not like this, so I'm not good enough. But when you really step back and realize that we're all on a different spot in our journey, like your life isn't that person's life, or you're in a different, you know what I mean, like different steps, like baby steps. You can't just jump into being like an expert at something. You have to start at the beginning. And I think it's just being gentle and kind with yourself, and like kind of like one thing that has always helped me is to treat yourself like, almost, if you can imagine, there's like a little like inner child you, and that's the one that's like learning all this stuff, and you're taking care of that inner child.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, be nice, pretend like you're okay. So maybe, a lot of people have like inner dialogue, or they'll talk to themselves, whether that be positive or not so positive. But if you could just maybe switch it to where, instead of you talking to yourself, you're talking to a younger version of yourself, or maybe it's like your child, so you be nice, and then kind of just help them along the way to have confidence and understand that it's a journey. There really honestly is no destination.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
With this kind of stuff, it's something you really just enjoy. Do your best to enjoy it and accept where you are. I mean, that's it.
I like that. No, see, and that's why I ask these questions, because everybody is going to say something different. Everybody is. And for me personally, I wish somebody had said that to me when I started out. Yeah, I really did. Yeah. So we're talking from having a little bit of experience here. And yeah, I wish somebody would have said that to me, because the road would have been maybe a little bit easier. Yeah, a little bit kinder. Okay, I like that. Everybody listen to that. That's really good. So you're starting up this new business, and it's just Reiki. Are you going to mix in with the angels some? Are you?
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, of course.
Happy.
Yeah, I actually I'm doing that. I'm trying to just I'm a learner, I have a hard time kind of just not doing anything and just relaxing. I know that's one of my weaknesses. It's like I feel like I always have to be going, and I feel the best when I'm like growing and expanding. So I take a bunch of classes, just because I honestly like want to be. It's not even about certifications for other people. It's more like I want to know that I am fit for this, which I am. I know, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that, they're looking for somebody who knows what they're doing, and I'm new. I've only been doing this for 6 months, but I'm so connected to it.
Oh,
So just sure of myself. Like I did when I got attuned to the traditional Usui Reiki,
mhm.
I did have after a few during like the weeks after the attunement, I did have like the tingles and the feelings, but during the attunement, I didn't feel a whole lot. So with my practice that I'm going to be doing, I'm focusing. I'm going to be using only quantum Reiki,
Mhm.
and which is different. The attunement process during quantum Reiki was something I'll never forget. I basically go into meditation when I get attuned, and this was the only one where I actually had a clairvoyant experience. I literally I saw like all these like little like dots that were like different colors come together, and they made a DNA strand
Ah,
right in front of me. And then they just kind of like dispersed, and I was just like, I just wanted to hold on to that. You know what I mean? Like, this could be a half hour, awesome. But yeah, after that, I was just like, whoa, I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life.
Are you a Reiki master now? Have you taken your master class?
With Usui Reiki, yes.
Okay.
With quantum Reiki, that's something I'm gonna have to save up for. That one.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I want to throw it out to you that I would love to teach you how to do a quantum timeline cleanse,
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
because it is essentially, because now we have to put all these flashy words on things.
Of course. Quantum.
Quantum, everything's quantum now.
Yeah.
Even though the energy hasn't changed, but now that's what it is. I would love to offer that to you, to teach you how to do that, because I think you'd be great at it. And you just need to be a Reiki master, period.
Okay.
Sui is fine. And because I think you'd be awesome at that. And that's the thing, it's like that's so. And I want to point out too, you said, I've only been doing this 6 months. I gotta tell you, sister, I've been doing it for years, and I'd rather, if somebody was going to do it to me other than me, I would want to go to somebody that's only been doing it for 6 months, opposed to somebody that's been doing it for 15 years.
Right.
Because at 6 months, you still got all the, fire and just go and you lay your hands on me. Yes. Wonderful. So, don't let yourself, as we get into our heads, as us humans do, because I would rather see somebody at 6 months that is still all about helping others and all about than anything else, definitely. So go for it. And when you said you work with angels, and do you work with them in the Reiki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every time. I call on everybody. I make like it's the sacred space opening, because I'm also doing initiations into the Munai Ki.
Nice.
And I'm only the first initiation, which is the healer's right. But that definitely made a big difference. On my practice as well. So, but that's also added a new element of me opening space, and it takes some time, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Definitely. So what is the business going to be called?
I think it's just Cosmic Soul Reiki. I didn't really know what to do, and I didn't really want to think too hard. And I'm somebody that I'm open to the inspiration and ideas that the universe gives me, I guess you could say. Kind of like because I have like a whole list of all the like SMART goals, and things that I needed to get done. And I was like, okay, branding. I need to do new branding. And I didn't really expect anything to happen, but then we got that camera, and we filmed the first episode where I'm actually like and it was just such an awesome experience. And I spent the rest of the night just completely redoing my website and like the colors and the branding. And it just happened. I was like, I have to go to bed. I have to work. I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're like, no, you have to keep going because you got to ride that wave.
Yeah. I have to
know?
say, and I guess I didn't mention this to people out there. You will notice when you go to her website or her YouTube page,
Mhm.
it'll be
Different.
like, yeah, it'll start looking a little bit different as you scroll down,
Mhm.
because of the switch over and branding. But how the change up
Mhm.
that it looks and appears to me, and even the feeling of it,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Debbie is now, she's crossed over into who Debbie will be. Like, this is so nice. So it looks great.
Thank you.
I'm happy that you allowed
Mhm.
spirit to kind of guide you, to
Yeah.
just, be open to being guided.
Mhm.
Oftentimes we just have to allow it first. And the
Right.
fact that you allowed it, man, you produced some beautiful rebranding that I was like, yes, see, this is
Thank
Debbie.
you.
This
I
is,
feel like, I spent uh, my whole life forcing art and forcing music, and like when you really let go and trust that you're going to create something awesome. It's a co-creative experience.
yeah,
I have a new blog post I'm going to be posting called Sexy Manifesting. And
nice.
basically it's about how like when you are when what you want to create in your life is in alignment with like the greater good, you know, and like not just helping you, but like something that'll benefit all, you have a much bigger payout as far
Yeah,
as like the help you get
yeah,
from spirit, because spirit's all about that, like love, hell yeah, let's
yeah,
do this, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
Also, it goes back to that whole thing, like it's not going to happen in any way that you expect it to happen. You just have to go with it and
Yeah,
trust the images and words or anything that's coming out and just like put it out there. You're good.
yeah, yeah. Allow the process. Yeah.
Yep. And it feels better.
Um, freeing. Once
Yeah.
again, like the word freeing just came to me. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess our themes today are let go of expectations so you can feel free. I mean,
Yeah.
that's so much of the awakening process. And once again, baby steps. It takes everybody, you know, everybody walks in a different path and everybody does
Mhm.
this differently, even though we're connected. And that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
That's the beauty, that's great.
Mm.
Um, so if you were gonna do, um, I guess I might have just stole your answer actually, because my last question usually is like, what's one word you could say to somebody that is just waking up? Like, what's one word of inspiration or one word to kind of make sure they catch? So I'm hoping I didn't steal it from you just now.
One word.
One word that you think would be, I guess you would say, the most beneficial for someone just waking up.
Well, it's gonna sound cheesy, but I
Uh,
really think love is the word, and you apply that to every single thing.
oh,
That's it.
I
Just
love it.
love every moment, love all people, love, I don't know. That's it's to me that's the most important one.
It
So
is. Oh yeah. I don't care what faith you come from or what your beliefs are. That is the most important one. And when you said that, it made me think of, I don't know how long ago this was, but I went to meditate, and I knew I was just not in a good place. I couldn't focus, and I went to meditate, and I'm thinking, okay, just try to go somewhere, Courtney, try to journey somewhere, try to walk yourself through something. And I just couldn't. I was struggling, and I went, okay, you know what? Just meditate on love. Just think about whatever your concept is of love, Courtney. And I'm doing this to myself. Think about the word. Think about the feeling. Think about what all it means to you. that was one of the most profound meditations I ever did.
I bet.
And it was like, and it was came out of, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what's going on. And you just keep it simple and love. Oh, it was the most profound.
Yeah.
And I think you're the first person that said that too.
Nice.
A lot of people have said great words like ask for help and, whatever it may be, but that's what it's all about is love.
That's kind of the chase.
Yeah, that is the destination if we really, if we need to put a title on the destination, that is it.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Miss Debbie, once again, for all that may listen to this, where can they find you? What's all your tags or titles?
They can find me on Instagram, Cosmic Soul Podcast, and cosmicsoulreiki.com. Those are the best places to find me. Pretty
Okay.
much the only, and the links are on there for like YouTube and things like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Definitely go to her YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, she is my Monday morning coffee. She'll put me in the right frame of mind. Her voice is very nice in the morning too to listen to. It is. It's because it's gentle, and I'm like, yes, be gentle, Debbie. It's Monday.
Right.
Yeah. So go there, guys. Follow her on Instagram. I met Debbie through Instagram, and she's this beautiful soul, and she does also short little videos on there that are inspiring. So go there. And if you are new and all of a sudden you came upon this video, I am Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light. I too am on Instagram and YouTube. Well, of course, you're watching it right now. But Stars of the Morning Light is a full like metaphysical platform. I also do Reiki. I do Akashic record readings. There's blogs. There's a free meditation podcast. All sorts of good jazzy stuff. And I do have a couple of courses coming, and I'm taking 6 students for an Akashic Records 1 summer program. And I'm doing a moon manifesting course in May. So if you're interested, that's Debbie. She is Cosmic Soul Podcast, and I'm Courtney at Stars of the Morning Light. And you know what? We love them all, don't we, Debbie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love we really do. That's why I don't bring people on here that don't have some love to share.
Right.
Debbie's got a lot of love, and I adore. I really do. So thank you, Miss Debbie.
Thank
You have
you.
a great rest of your day, and I'm going to be listening to you tomorrow morning.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good.